This evening, government to launch cleanup and improvements efforts at Stabroek Market. Fidis Guyana making significant progress on City Hall restoration project, expected to hand over by year-end. Truck crashes into church tent, injuring 2 during Youth Week of Prayer in Victoria. In the region, World War today. Venezuelans without tap water for decades. And US Fed announces the latest interest hike in wake of banking turmoil. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Fidis Guyana Incorporated, the contractor responsible for the historic restoration of City Hall in Georgetown, is making significant progress on the project. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Darmlal, visited the site on Wednesday and lauded the team's efforts. He said that if everything goes according to plan, City Hall will be fully restored and handed over by the end of this year. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali prioritized the restoration of City Hall when he entered office in 2020. The $780 million contract was awarded to Fidis Guyana Incorporated in September of 2021, with an additional $263.1 million allocated in this year's budget, after contractors discovered extensive damage to the building's structural components. Minister Darmlal commended the contractors for their hard work, noting that much material had to be removed and replaced during the restoration. Darmlal also paid a visit to the City Hall's admin building, which has been under construction for the past 2 years. Unlike the restoration of the City Hall, he highlighted that the building's construction is far from completion. He has committed, however, to an intervention by the ministry to fast-track the completion of the project. In other news, a container truck crashed into a church tent of Seventh-day Adventist worshippers on Wednesday night, causing 2 serious injuries and damage to multiple vehicles in Victoria, East Coast Demerara. The truck, attached to the distributor of rock hard cement, was traveling west on the Victoria Public Road when it lost control around a turn and collided with the tent. The crash caused severe damage to several vehicles and resulted in 2 church members sustaining leg injuries. The Victoria Seventh-day Adventist Church had been hosting a week of prayer service called the Youth Week of Prayer under the tent, which was located opposite the Guyana Power and Light Outpost in Victoria. Many villagers and worshippers were left in shock at the scene of the accident. Owner of the damaged vehicles could not at the time estimate the extent of damages. The driver was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving, as he was reportedly under the influence of alcohol at the time of the incident. The authorities are investigating the incident and the injured individuals are receiving medical attention. Moving on, police officers on branch of Regional Division 10 conducted an operation in Phase 3 Wisrock in Linden. They recovered 2 firearms from armed suspects and 458 grams of suspected marijuana on Wednesday, March 22nd. The police were acting on information received that suspects, including Ronald Chapman, who was wanted for robbery, rape, and serious offenses, were hiding out at a house in the area. Upon arrival, the police saw 3 men sitting on the veranda. One whipped out a firearm and discharged rounds at the police. Another suspect, later identified as Randy Jerome, age 33, of 1 Mile Wismo, was seen pointing a firearm at a police rank. The rank discharged a round, hitting him in the lower right eye. The police recovered a 40 Beretta pistol, a 9mm pistol, and 75 transparent Ziploc bags with suspected cannabis. The 2 injured suspects were taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where Jerome later succumbed to his injuries. Chapman remains under police guard, and 3 other suspects are in custody. Meanwhile, the ranks conducted searches in the area and recovered 5 suspected 9mm empty castings. The suspected marijuana was weighed and amounted to 458 grams. The matter is presently under police investigation. Stick around when we return. Government to launch cleanup and improvements efforts at Stabroek Market, and Blue Iguana owner denied bail by High Court in drug trafficking case.
home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Hey, this is your fancy vehicle and that is your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You hell boy, you crazy, you mad, you head no good. Why you buy? Look, let me show you the light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
Alright, let me go and dash away your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Welcome back. Government officials are set to launch a large-scale cleanup effort at the Stabroek Market in Georgetown on Sunday, March 26. The move is part of efforts to improve the popular vending hub and make it more conducive to doing business. The Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Darmlal, led a recent market inspection and spoke with several vendors. Some of the improvement works to be done to the Stabroek Market area, repairing to the roof of the Fish Bay area, desilting drains, excavating garbage clogged outlets, upgrading restroom facilities. Minister Darmlal also committed to addressing poor garbage disposal, boosting security, and seeking to redeploy more constabulary officers to the area. The local government minister is also looking to re-establish the vendors committee to improve representation and implement daily garbage removal and policies to strengthen facility management. He promised that the government would provide resources to enhance the market and impose its work ethics on the city council to ensure they contribute to the improvement efforts. Overall, the cleanup efforts and planned improvements are expected to make the Stabroek Market a better place for vendors and shoppers alike. In other news, 44-year-old Royston Penniston, the owner of the popular Blue Iguana nightclub, has been denied bail by the High Court in a drug trafficking case. Penniston moved to the High Court after he was denied bail and remanded in the Magistrates Court on March 6th. However, he was denied bail again on Wednesday when his application came up during a hearing at the High Court. Penniston was arrested after he was found in possession of more than 5 pounds of cocaine with a street value of approximately $2.1 million at Festival City North Rheinfeld on March 3rd. Despite pleading not guilty to the charge, the businessman was remanded to prison until April 3, 2023, and has been denied bail after his recent application to the High Court. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit believes the suitcases Penniston was carrying had been prepared for a possible cocaine shipment to the United States using someone else. Don't go away after the break. U.S. Fed announces the latest interest hike in wake of banking turmoil, and Nigeria economy, currency redesign leads to cash shortages.
Celebrity Pure Vegan Cuisine and Bar. We say vegan, we speak about 100% vegan. No dairy products, no MSG. From the cheese, the butter, the milk, everything we use here, it's vegan. Our breakfast, some of the special we have for breakfast: porridge, fried plantains, we have boil and fried katahar, boil and fried cassavas. We have soup of the day, which you all know. The main thing in that soup is the dry mushrooms as well as the bean curry. Young okra is a must with full ground food, split peas and everything up in that. Coconut milk is the main thing. Then we have the lunchtime. Some of the main dishes the people already is hitting on: the split peas cocoa rice, basmati and quinoa mix. A lot of people don't know what's that, but you come down here, you get it. It's a replacement of rice and a great substitute in the vegan business. Then we have dal, corn, okra and carrots, edo leaves, chanchi down, coconut milk. There's so many side dishes, but one of the special things is the chicken that we make right here. We make sweet and sour chicken, strip chicken, jerk chicken. All of that is in-house, made right in here from scratch. In the evening, you know everything is up. We also carry a large variety of organic and natural products. Some of the products that we have here is the hemp. The hemp, that one is a very important product for the body. Proteins and everything to the max. We have the Corellia. This also is very good for the body. We have the Spirulina. Spirulina is very good for everyone, but men benefit a lot from that. After the Spirulina, we have the maca powder. These are all organic and natural powders for the body, especially when you're getting up there in age. You use these things as supplements. Black seed oil. On the internet, it said the only thing the black seed oil don't cure is death. And there are many more products that we have there, full variety. We have the natural juices we also make. We have from like the sorrel juice, the pineapple juice, mabi, ginger beer. All these things make from the bark or the natural powder. We do not use concentrate in this cuisine at all. Everything we do is natural. Also at the Celebrity Pure Vegan Cuisine, we have a well-stocked bar. Some people choose to have a drink when they finish eating. We need to make sure that they're comfortable, they're happy when they're leaving this place. So we do our best to provide the services that we think is required. Remember, this place are fully AC and we cater for weddings, all occasions, birthday parties, anniversaries. So we set the place so that everyone can come, feel right and understand what's happening. Come right down to the Pure Vegan Cuisine and Bar, 198 Camp Street again, and you will find everything you need to live to be healthy.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. The United Nations is marking World Water Day by raising awareness about access to clean water and sanitation. 1 in 4 people, 2 billion worldwide, do not have access to safe drinking water, and 1.4 million people die annually of diseases related to poor sanitation and hygiene. Shortages are already hitting those who live in cities. What that means is low-income areas of cities like Caracas is that some Venezuelans say they have not had tap water for decades. Al Jazeera's Zain Bashravi reports.
Life in one of the world's largest oil-producing nations, Venezuelans say, shouldn't be this difficult. And access to a basic human right should be easier.
They charge us $2 or $2.50 for water. It's too much. We can't do it anymore because nobody can put up with that. Sometimes the guys here bring us water from the well and sell it cheaper. For more than 20 years, we haven't known what it's like to have tap water.
Running water has long been a luxury in the sprawling low-income neighborhoods around Caracas. A state-owned company is in charge of supplying water practically free of charge, but it is unable to keep up with rising demand. Some residents of Petare, Venezuela's largest favela, benefit from a nearby well where they can collect groundwater. Others siphon tap water from broken pipes.
We come here to get drinking water every 2 weeks. For use at the house, I have to fetch and carry every day because we only have running water sometimes once a week, and for 2 hours or an hour and a half, if that. Otherwise, we don't have water.
Shrinking wages and rising prices make access to water more difficult. Even informal traders are increasing prices for jugs and tanker water. But these sources are still preferable because they are more reliable than the state for access to the most essential resource for life. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera.
Meanwhile, the United States Federal Reserve has announced its latest interest rate hike, a move aimed at lowering inflation by making borrowing more expensive for consumers. The increase of 0.25 percentage point on Wednesday sets the U.S. Central Bank's benchmark overnight interest rate in the 4.75 to 5% range, its highest level in 15 years. Al Jazeera's Heidi Castro reports.
The U.S. Central Bank's decision to raise the federal interest rate by 0.25 percentage point was the result of being stuck between conflicting forces. Don't raise the rate enough, and consumer prices may continue to soar. Raise it too high, and more banks may fail.
History has shown that isolated banking problems, if left unaddressed, can undermine confidence in healthy banks and threaten the ability of the banking system as a whole.
The banking turmoil hit suddenly 2 weeks ago when 2 mid-sized banks failed. People lined up to demand their money that was no longer there after Silicon Valley Bank sold its government bonds at a loss due to high interest rates. SVB's practices had caught the attention of banking regulators in 2022, but the Fed failed to prevent the crisis. Chairman Jerome Powell said the blame lies with the bank, now under investigation.
At a basic level, Silicon Valley Bank management failed badly. They grew the bank very quickly. They exposed the bank to significant liquidity risk and interest rate risk.
An emergency intervention by regulators and the U.S. Treasury Department has stabilized the banking sector for now. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told a Senate committee on Wednesday that regulatory reforms may be required.
This was a very unusual set of circumstances that Silicon Valley Bank faced. It appears that they had significant interest rate risk that they were subject to, and an exceptionally high, over 90% of their deposits were uninsured.
The big day of financial news made for volatile trading on Wall Street, with the Dow and S&P closing down more than 1.5%. Investors fear even the modest interest rate hike will increase pressure on banks.
I think this is going to only add fuel to the fires.
Just how much higher will the federal interest rate go? Well, the Federal Reserve is signaling that it's approaching the end of its aggressive campaign to raise interest rates in order to lower inflation. Perhaps one more interest rate hike is expected before the end of this year, and then if inflation indeed continues to descend downward as expected, then come 2024, interest rate cuts could be expected. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And internationally, Nigeria's informal economy is struggling because there is not enough cash. A redesign of local currency as well as recall of old banknotes is being blamed. Nearly half the population does not have a bank account. Al Jazeera's Ahmad Idris reports.
Goods arrive at the single market by the truckload. But with not enough banknotes in circulation, traders are struggling to find buyers for their goods.
People from rural areas who used to buy 1,000 cartons of goods with cash can no longer do that. Most of them are unbanked.
In October last year, Nigeria's central bank announced the redesign of the highest denominations of the local currency, the naira. The bank then took the banknotes out of circulation to discourage their use. That's left millions of Nigerians queuing at banks for months, desperate for the new notes. There isn't enough money to go round. Commercial banks have set cash withdrawal limits to just $20. Sometimes they have no cash to dispense at all.
Informal trade makes up 60% of Nigeria's economy, and most transactions take place in cash. A shortage of banknotes and an unreliable money transfer system are making life difficult for small businesses.
Shehu Umar blames the government's monetary and fiscal policies for the near collapse of his business.
It's difficult to feed my family. As we speak, I only have 50 cents in the shop. I don't even have enough to give the shop assistant money to catch a bus home.
Nigeria's Supreme Court has intervened and ordered the central bank to put the old notes back into circulation until the end of the year. That was after some governors took both the central bank and federal government to court.
When the economy goes down and you need to activate it, you reflate it, not deflate it. What happened is like deflating the economy, and it is impacting negatively on the people.
Economists warn of dangers ahead for an economy that's already seen 2 recessions in 8 years.
Once economy is experiencing this, it simply means that the economy can collapse at any time. And then before you ginger people to production again, it will take time, because that trust on government and its policies is no longer there.
Despite the order from the Supreme Court, the cash crunch continues. It's causing economic pain to millions of Nigerians and small businesses. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Kano, Nigeria.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. Concludes today's headline news update. Tune in tomorrow, Friday at 5:30 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.